Are there any big projects you're working on right now that you're super excited about, but you don't know if it'll really have the outcome that you're desiring? Like it's a big bet and yeah, kind of like a test.
So one of them right now is migrating subscription services. So we're migrating from one service to another. And the idea is that the customer doesn't really notice a difference, except that we can now speed up and add subscriptions easily. We're getting hardware and software or service, and we're sticking them together as much as we can. How do you make it so that you have more flexibility in how you manage the merchandising of that, how you manage all of the behind the scenes of how you connect all of that together? How do you help customers more easily? So for example, every camera that's there's a license you buy for it to then, have all of the good AI stuff that you want with it. If I suddenly have 4 other cameras, how do I easily just add more licenses to my plan? How do we make that process as simple as possible? And so we've moved to another subscription service to help with that. But in some ways, it's like, well, can we make it so that it's going to improve serviceability or does it make it easier for customers to manage? And does that have an upside to it? Or is it not going to make a difference at all? And all of this work is for nothing?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm betting on it's definitely going to be worth it. I mean, I can think of so many times right now where hardware and software, like it's not working well together, whether it's my Sonos speakers that's for some reason always drop off, out of the app, don't work with Spotify. Thinking about, Amazon Kindle, like I bought a book on like the desktop today and it's definitely not showing up on my phone Kindle app. I'm like, well, where'd it go? It's just out in the ethers floating around trying to make it to my phone, I guess. I don't know. When you think about the convergence of all these different technologies, or even if you think about like B2B and B2C, like expectations are now the same. Shopping behavior is like pretty similar. People want a great platform, regardless of if it's B2C or B2B. Same thing with like hardware and software. If I buy a, camera, I better see it instantly in my app and be able to get the license and move things around. And I'm betting with you that that's going to be a worthwhile project.
Yeah. Moving millions of subscriptions over, that migration process is always nerve-wracking, takes a while. And this is similarity between Wyze and my previous gig, is that you want to bring in a service with your hardware. So it might sound weird, but with books, you've got books, but you've also got ebooks and you've got audiobooks. When you're shopping for a particular movie, you also have the ability to watch the movie right there on the product page. Having kind of like your consumption and your purchasing happen in the same place has always been very interesting to me. Back then it was thoughts of like, well, if you can find the book, but also if you own the book as an ebook or as an audiobook, you could read or listen to it right there. How does Wyze do that? We have a web viewer now for all of your connected cameras. So we can connect as you come to the site. You can also take a look and go look at your own alerts and things, view the cameras that you've got set up. When you buy a camera, immediately at the same time in one click, purchase the service that goes with it. And that's a free trial. Buy a camera, you get a free trial, and it comes together in one click type of thing. Putting hardware and software together is, I think, a really interesting next step. Like the whole consumption and purchase in the same place has always been fascinating to me, because I think if you just look at like a store experience and you put it online, I think you're missing out on a whole bunch more. That was my beef with ebooks, really, is like if it's just words on now a screen instead of paper, I think you're missing a whole bunch of stuff. We worked on things like embedded video, embedded audio, high resolution images that you can zoom in and do stuff on. We did tagging of text and notes and all of that stuff, even before Kindle did, actually, which was kind of fun. If you're just trying to change that experience and make it the same thing and not take advantage of that particular medium, I think you're missing out a bunch. And so I think that's where, for me, e-commerce is interesting, because even all of the big giants, even Amazon.com, right? Huge. They've got all the traffic right now, and that's what makes them so powerful. But they can't do some of these things that are unique, that maybe deepen the relationship you have with your customer. What is it that your experience could give a customer that would provide additional value and give them a reason to come back again and again. So that was my thought with books. It was like, well, what if your library and your shop is the same place? Instead of it just being, oh, here's the shop, here's the library. What if we could put those together? It's kind of like what Barnes and Noble do in the retail sense. You know, they have the coffee shop and then they have the store, and it's more of an experience. It's not just about looking at books. It's about spending time as if you're in just an awesome library that you can just, wander around. How do you create that type of experience with commerce? That, for some reason, always keeps coming to my head and thinking, what's the best way to take advantage of this platform? Because it's seemingly limitless,
Yeah. Wow. So what are you doing at Wyze right now to create that experience?
As we've recently migrated, we're continuing to expand the services, joining them with the hardware. What's our best product that we have? Is it this? No, it's the app. That's the product. That's the best product. That's really why people want our stuff. It's because the app unlocks all of it. We've got to make sure that we promote the services and what the app does with our hardware so that people can connect and go, oh, that's how it all fits together. And in the beginning, Wyze has been kind of a grassroots, homegrown smart camera company. A lot of the fans of Wyze know how to do all of this. They love it. They've embraced it. They're fantastic. Now, as we penetrate more into the market, we're the third biggest smart home or smart camera company. We've got to now make sure that people who may not be as connected and know how all of this stuff works, how do we help them know how it works and get it set up without professional installation and things like that? Make it easy for them. That's really probably the next step we've got to take to continue to have the growth that we're having.
Hey, thanks for watching. This segment was made possible by our friends at Salesforce Commerce Cloud. If you're looking for the #1 platform for all your commerce needs, go check out salesforce.com/commerce. And don't forget to subscribe below and tap that little bell icon so you can stay on top of all the amazing new segments and full episodes that we'll be putting out over the coming year with some of the best and most influential commerce leaders out there.